We have to win in the funniest way if this happens. Yeah. Felix? Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more Jeskai Control. We've made a couple of changes, not anything too crazy, too spicy, but we have gone up a Biza, up a temporary lockdown from the last time we played. We have added a Parting Gust and 2 flankers into the deck to replace the rest in pieces that I was playing. I played Soul Guide Lantern a bit. I liked it just as well as I liked the flanker, but the idea of the flanker is to gain 2 life, and Scry 2 is a little bit more prevalent in a lot of other matchups than a Soul Guide Lantern, so I opted to try this out in today's video. Other than that, we're on 2 Abrades. I think that's what we were on last time as well. But the main plan of the deck is to be a control Bernie style deck where anything that hits the board, we remove it the best we can, whether it's with any of these kind of removal spells, if you want to count. I don't think you can really count Revelation as a removal spell as it's 7 mana, but realistically we have all these here. And then we have the nice counter magic to go with it and pair with it. We have a Graveyard Hate piece in the flanker. We have a Stock Up as a refill. Biza is a life-gaining threat that can do a lot of things, whether we're making a treasure, drawing a card, gaining some life, being a 4/5 hitter. And then we have Shiko as a 4-of, where it was a 3-of last time, and that obviously rounds out very well with all of our 3-mana spells other than this. So outside of Biza, anything left here we can cast with Shiko, which is awesome. And then we have the 2 Regents and the 1 of Jeskai Revelation to kind of top end for our top end. But like I said, we're just going to go really quickly right into the games. I hope you all enjoyed them, and let's go game. Playing. Sure. I have stuff in places, things that work well. Stock Up's probably like generically the best card in my hand. But if they're trying to get something important to resolve, I could definitely see them taking the counterspell, but I'm going to reveal our card right away. Hold up our counterspell, because might as well. Oh, is this Reanimator? Oh, no. Well, I'm going to go ahead and counter this. 0. Well, Revelation is probably not the card we want. Another land. I'm going to let that go now, even though we do have Revelation. But if this is a graveyard strategy deck, which Fear of Missing Out heavily implies that, I'll let this resolve, I guess. We'll just abrade it. Yeah, so it's the Reanimator deck. I literally just played this yesterday. It's kind of crazy. But it's always fun to see the deck that you just played come out, but Duress is in there, and I did not play any copies of Duress, so I got my counter spell. They could Duress me on like turn 5 to open up the chance to play an Atraxa. I mean, Fear of Missing Out number 3 is fine, I guess. Not a whole lot I can do about that. There's no Tali, so the top end threats are still there. Everything's coming together, I suppose. We'll pass. We'll probably just have to let Fear hit a couple times. Maybe. They're missing a land drop, so... Well, now they hit the land drop. Sure. Especially if it's just going to be 2 damage here. No point in my wanting to budge. That's fine. So we can remove this. It's 4 mana to activate, so for us... Definitely a pop it now. I still... It'll be a weird match for sure. Real issue is going to be them getting an Atraxa to hit the battlefield. They should have held on to this, because if they hit another land here, they could put that on the stack to threaten it, because I can't counter the activated ability. And to counter it's pretty impossible for us currently. The only one we can counter is like a zombie fight. Maybe that's why they played it initially, so kind of is what it is, I suppose. Activate here. I'm gonna look to be drawing extra cards throughout these turns. Okay. Well, now our counterspell got good and Revelation's ready to go, so cool part about Revelation is return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. So if it is like a zombie fire or something, we can return the actual zombie fire to their hand and look to counter it on a following turn. Yeah, so I mean, we're definitely going for this. So return target permanent. We'll return this. We'll deal 4 damage here. Just get everything off the board out of our way. This also turns off the creature activation, right? So they can't play this and activate it because this land will enter tap. This is on their end step, so... The torch, sure. You have another torch. That's a little tough for us, but it is what it is. Braid for that Corey Steel. Double counter spell now. I think I'm okay because now Duress doesn't beat me. And we cast that stock up that we missed out on earlier due to a Duress. And Regent's pretty good. Land is not necessarily required here, so I'll take another Sheikah. Then we'll pass here. Temporary lockdown obviously not going to do much for us, but... Yeah, they got everything in there. We just... Arguably, we're one of their harder matchups because anytime they put things on the stack... Alright, so they fully go for this to an extent. I'm just going to counter this. Because now their hand's super limited, right? And I think I have to work on closing this game out or I'll never get to close the game out. We just sit in this weird space forever. Another land. So now if it's Zombify, I have counter unless they pay 4. Let's activate this. Okay, we hit a land. We still had the counter spell, but if I hit a 3 steps ahead, I'd much rather have used it from my exile zone. And yeah, that's gonna be it. And we'll keep this. Yep. Who would have thought the awkward hand leads right into playing against mono red? I could have told you that was coming. It always feels like, I mean, it just feels the most punishing is really all it is. Not for the same reason you would think. It just feels punishing because they're so fast that you feel like your awkward hands are bad. Which, like, fair enough, you know? Yep. Yeah. Could have played the island. 3 steps ahead would have been available, but I do feel like our exile is going to be fine enough. That will not be resolving. The reason they wanted to get the Nemesis to resolve is they want to have a burst lightning for it, I would assume. 3 steps ahead can be used here. The problem is these Swift Spears are just chipping away every turn. Even though it's a long turn, but... Sure. Uh-huh. So many lands they have. Huh. We already went past combat, so there's not a lot we can do. Gain 2 life, scry 2, I suppose. I don't have a dragon, so it doesn't feel right to take this. My land's gonna enter tapped. Why did I not play my surveil land? I don't know. I don't feel like I'd need any of those. Yeah. Max punishment. Land can go. Could be, though. Nope. Oh, no, because I needed to untap blue for 3 steps. That's why I didn't play the land tapped. Exile target non-token creature if his gift wasn't promised. Return that card. Okay. Sure. Stalker? Comes back on end step, right? I guess so. Have to counter that and try to block. Alright. I don't have anything good. Okay. It gives them a fish. do this because this will exile regardless. We're at 4. This is where a lightning helix over that abrade would have been incredible, but we play 4 lightning helixes. It's not like we can just print ourselves a new copy, right? Oh. Okay. Huh. Sure. Exilis. Oh, I should have just targeted a token. What am I doing? Oh, mistake by me. Whatever. Oh, we just have to survive this turn. I don't know if we can. I got target. Not. Oh, never mind. I couldn't target a token anyway. Maybe I knew that. Maybe I'm not as dumb as I look. I'm probably as dumb as I look. Exile target non-token creature if a gift wasn't. Okay, so do I go for flanker instead? I get to gain a little life here, right? So. Not as dumb as I thought I was, which is pretty awesome to hear. Monster trades on just a fish alone won't get us, so the problem is without helixes and stuff, we're just not going to get there. And thankfully we have a helix. It's just we have to get there. Yeah, grow that. Could be a fling too, I guess, now I think about it. I'd put us dead next turn. Do we think that's what it is? I guess I might as well barrel for a temp lockdown, right? I mean, I play 4. I miss, unfortunately. I grab a Get Lost or a Braid. I can Helix and Get Lost something. But I don't really want to give them a token. So it has to be a Braid and land here. Play a land. Guess my plan is just to helix this before it gets any bigger. So we go to 7. Then obviously I attack for the 4 in the air that's free. Could be a Witchstalker Frenzy, I guess, but I mean, I'm not fitting to play around that. They have something in their hand. I don't know what it is. I've officially been confuzzled. Poozed. Riddled. Now, obviously, our 4/5 weirdly has to block the 1/1. Another land from them. And this 1/1 specifically, because obviously the double strike is relevant. Sure. Okay. Interesting. Why you play it? Can you imagine just like being mono red and be like, wow, a 7-mana spell might put me in the ground. Oh, another land. Okay. At no point am I going to die to anything here, so return target permanent to hand. Return 4. And then we should be able to braid this and win. Good. Yes. Oh, now you want to show up. Okay. So now we just do this. We keep the original Shiko. We lightning helix them. Then we abrade their 1/1 and we win. Weird. I really thought I messed up the Geist card, but thankfully I didn't. I'm not an idiot. All right, well, we get to keep here. We're on the play. So the Surveil land's not near as bad, and we have 4 castable cards in our hand, even if we happen to miss a land, and we thankfully do not. So that issue is kind of voided. All right. I've rang true on the statement of my Swift Spirit enters the battlefield and it tapped and attacking. because I've been playing at F&Ms for the showdown stuff, and if you haven't been playing them, you should be. The counterspell, I think, is going to be more relevant. A card like a Braid is going to be harder to use, so I think I'm just going to pop this. Maybe I should have used it. No, because then I get maps, and then maps are annoying. Because I was afraid of the random Urbrass Forge that some people will put in their main, which, like, oftentimes makes sense. It's just annoying. And this is what we Screaming Nemesis, or counter Screaming Nemesis. No. Forget everything I just said. Click off the video. Go watch something else. I don't know what to tell you. Well, now we got double spell active. Crazy to run into mono red twice back to back like this. Sure. Too much mana available. We're not messing around. The lightning strike is fine. I will not allow this to happen though. I'm not really caring to counter the lightning strike as much as I am. Oh, thankfully we found a land regardless. I want my red available, which if I play this Verge, my red will be available anyway, so that's fine. This is a great opportunity for us to stock up here. We can go with the Regent to have like a really good high-end payoff spell now. Because a 6/7 is so good, right? Although I guess Screaming Nemesis gets around that, right? But I have a counter spell for said Screaming Nemesis. And let's just take... Temporary Lockdown's also good. Maybe I had to give up on that idea for now. Or maybe I just take both of them and just hope I hit a land. I'm down with that idea. Really stressing our mana base here. Have a 2-lander on 5. Denied myself another land. So if we miss, it's all our fault. Alright. Well, we hit a land regardless. Now I just pass. They're going to bring up this creature. I'm going to braid it. Hopefully. Yeah. I'm going to braid it here. Hello? Arena? Alright, never mind. I didn't want to braid it at all, and I'm going to lose the game for it. That's so annoying. Can I braid this creature now, since you auto-pass my turn? And now my opponent gets to respond with a Monstrous Rage. It's... Oh, man. Arena, you're frustrating. Hopefully this resolves. Okay, we don't objectively get punished, but... Oh, I have to look back. Maybe I hit pass. I do not believe so. I let that resolve, and Arena said, yeah, there's no creature that's legal target. Pass. I was like... Flanker's been nice. Flanker's a card that every time my opponent plays it against me, I'm kind of like... Why is that in our deck? But playing it today has made me kind of have a different thought process behind it a bit. So... Well, I don't know if my counterspell is going to get used here. I don't think I want it to be. Kind of depends on the match. Is this mono white nonsense? Okay, I lied. My counterspell is going to get used here. No double blue, which is okay. This is one of those scenarios, is like, do I not just stock up at this point? I think that's where I'm at. So I can't hold up counterspell. In the best case scenario, I hold up a flanker, and it's so farther mono white. Yeah, here we just get to grab temp lockdown, and we grab, what, a parlor, I guess? We have a graveyard exile effect. We just need a lockdown effect. There's black mana. Okay. There's some of the cards that they need. Get Lost is definitely a card that they can have access to. Now we want to diversify the best we can. We have 3 white sources, 1 blue, 1 red. So we want to play the Thundering Falls. Don't need that land right now. I understand that would allow us to play Shiko, but most likely Flanker is going to be what we're holding up for most situations. Now the best part about having Temp Lockdown and Shiko and playing 4 Temp Lockdowns is if my opponent does, however, remove it. Okay, update. I needed them to remove it like any other way other than that. Oh boy. Sure, I guess. They don't have a way to deal themselves with damage right now. Most likely it's going to be flanker regardless of what happens. Oh, it's a tough outing for your boy. Another case. Sure. Might be looking to Shiko stock up after this. Am I countering that? I feel like I have to. But I guess I take more damage from this, right? Except, I guess so. It all sucks. Okay, I'm gonna flash this in so Arena stops asking me to play the game. Lightning Helix, not good enough. I can tell you that. Uh-huh. Yes, sir. Okay. Please, with the lands, can we stop? Okay, apparently not. Do I have to stock up or can I flank her here? I guess it's supposed to be stock up. Oh boy. I'm gonna throw up. Guess these. I have no idea. You rip. Okay. Okay. My bad, dude. My bad. My bad, dude. Like, whatever. Sure. I'll keep. I have just lost 2 games in a row just purely to full flooding, so no matter what I do, it's bound to happen the opposite way now where I don't find enough lands. Oh, maybe I lied. Maybe I will find lands. It's typically like the arena pattern. You either have all the lands or none of the lands. That resolves. Revelation's so far away, we just let it go. Land in this matchup, I'll just stock up, try to find more mana. Chico's obviously awesome here. Most likely Biza will draw us an additional card, but I guess I already have a Shiko in hand. So I just take the 2 lands. A Braid's like fine, probably not that worth, but here. I'm a Pixie player. I love Orzhov Pixie. Sure. A Braid is probably not the best card in hand. Counterspell now, but if I play Biza, I will have less cards in hand. Do I just hold it to Counterspell now? I'd rather play Biza on a more valuable turn, I think. Yeah, let's just pass here. Sure. Don't care about this damage. Biza will gain us life if we let this damage happen. Sure, their speed goes up, but I don't really care. If they had a blue mana in play, we would have removed it because of Kaido. Click. Let's see it. Down to remove all their stuff if I can. If they want to flash in another one to save it, then sure, I guess. I couldn't imagine them doing that, but the Helix is a fantastic draw. Let's play land so we ensure that we go empty-handed, because if they have a go for the throat, they would tie us 3 for 3 if I didn't play my land down. And I want Biza to, at minimum, draw me a card. As long as we can keep cards in our hand, their Hopeless Nightmares and stuff won't matter. So, like, whenever we play Shiko here, we're definitely going to hit the stock up. Now they have to use, like, oh, they play a flanker. Maybe exiling? Weird time to do it. Yeah, so they're exiling me because they know I have a Shiko in hand, which is fine with me. Sure. Honestly, that's Pretty dope. Ibiza won't like do anything, but that's fine with me. What I pay? Take Ibiza back and get no value. But they still have to answer it again, and that took out their flanker and their shelter by ghost. Hopeless. Guess the flanker can go. I can just Shiko replay the flanker. Is probably where I'll end up here. I bet. Or should I just hold my counterspell? Maybe holding counterspell is worth it. I'll get rid of that one. Although, like, realistically, they're not gonna have a board wipe, so Shiko's coming in. Their best board wipe's gonna be a lockdown. They could flanker here in response, but that's okay. Sure. Yeah. 8 damage on board. Flankering, so that'll put me a little bit higher to keep that card. Okay. You will try to. Uh-huh. You on top's got to be kind of horrifying. Pixie, sure. Pick up Momentum Breaker. Probably activate a couple of these maps. Sacrifice stealing creature that can't attack through a Pixie. Even if they put 2 counters on this Pixie, like, we still get to attack through it. Sure. You are the Hopeless Nightmare deck. Yeah. In. It'll take half your life total. Lock up. Ooh. Yeah, I guess so. How much is to copy a creature? 4. Okay. We're gonna get to do something really sick here. I'll discard a Helix. Sure. I could potentially do something sick here. Do I even do it? I guess not. I can just wait. Oh. I can do this. I can rip the nuts off the top. Sure. You can gain 2 life as well. Or 4 life as well. Sure. Hmm. Yep. I would now like to set you to a lethal amount, Mr. Pixie. What do we got? Alright. Yeah. Sacrifice a creature. Visa. No. Yeah. 4. Sure. Knock up. I didn't know if they had removal or something in their hand, so I was kind of just like, oh, we'll wait. Sure. Go ahead. Now we have a surefire way to get there. Uh-huh. Yes. Combat. 4. Huh? We have to win in the funniest way. If this happens. Yeah. Felix? Felix? Good game, opponent. It's a little tough. It's like one of those things where because they don't have direct hand disruption, they're not able to like take the stock ups and stuff from me. But I'm gonna say it today. The shuffler sucks, dude. Like, I don't get it. I've played against aggro so often. This one copy of this card has been in my opener more often than the temporary lockdown, and I have 4 copies of temporary lockdown. But you know, nothing's wrong. Shuffler's fine. I'm just coping. Sure. I'm gonna have to use these get lost multiple times, but yeah, I've just had this card in my opener. Like, I play 8 copies of it instead of just 1. Somehow it always finds itself to the top. Sure. I don't even know if I'm supposed to play stock up here or hold up the get lost. I guess it's supposed to be stock up. Hey, temporary lockdown, you do exist. I don't really need another land here right now. I will in a turn or two, but right now I don't. Sure. Alright, well, there's no Oculus in that pile, so I feel pretty good. Even though I'm taking 7 damage here. There's another temporary lockdown. Or maybe Arena heard me complaining really bad. We have to Helix this. Because it just gets bigger per discard, and if we pass, there are cards that they can cast that might let them discard at instant speed, so to be a little bit careful. Now we have a get lost available, temp lockdown. Unfortunately, I wanted to use for the Siren and the other card. Maybe I should have and just taken 3. But it looks like we're going to have the opportunity to use it anyway. 3 mana. Sure, I guess. Can't really counter that if I don't have a counter spell. I know. I'm a prophet. But they're tapped out now. The flyer is like kind of annoying, but we'll pop this. We'll take 1. Okay. Little part of me just thinks I'm supposed to Shiko Lightning Helix the Scholar. And I can temporary lock down everything else. Just like make sure that they don't have big stuff, and temporary lockdown can always absorb the ground base. So kind of in that weird spot of the game where it's like they might start investing helping hands on some of their stuff in their graveyard. They might just body my Shiko regardless. Who really knows? The other thing is, if they shelter back against my Shiko, that'd be awesome, to be honest. Or lands for my opponent. Unfortunate for them, obviously. But will they start using the maps? Spell Pierce is also possible. But thankfully we have enough mana to pay around 1. We can't pay for 2, but... But also the Light Shatter is going to be tough. Keep highlighting a creature. It makes me feel like they have a Shelter by Ghost. Oh, they just cast an Oculus. Okay. I can't do much about that. Not do much about that right now. Oh. I'll play Surveillance. I'll need that one. Because I'm barreling this. What is the face down card? Fear missing out. Nice. So if we lose our lockdown, they get a fear. Although, currently need to answer the board, and I can't really do that right now. I mean, I can with the Revelation, thankfully, that we have in our opening hand every game. But they hold up a Spell Pierce, and there's nothing I can do. Fear, sure. I'm gonna land in that graveyard. Quite a weird one. They need one more type. But I just haven't found like any way to interact with the stack as of right now. I will take the damage. Fortunately. Fortunately, I will take the damage. But the pawn's there anyway. I mean, I guess I fight them on their turn, right? Maybe they'll flip this face down card. Maybe there's another creature. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was. Worst part is they have enough cards in their graveyard that it doesn't matter really. If I put the Oculus back in their hand, they can always just recast it. Alright, if they don't have a Spell Pierce now, I'm gonna do it. Return target permanent. This one. Deal 4 damage. If they have a Spell Pierce, I'm losing anyway. I didn't snap it off, so it feels like they don't have it. Okay. Nice. And the Oculus is in hand currently, so. Then disc 2 card 2. But they don't have a white, so they have to have an untap white and a way to bring it back. And if they don't, I have a flanker to exile their graveyard, so that's pretty good. Sure. Untap white source? I hope not. I just figured doing it then, they're required to hit so much more, right? Then if I let that resolve and they find a Spell Pierce that we know they play for the most part. At least most of the time they play that card. But we'll see. Our hand's coming together. No white mana. Okay. Sure. Awesome. Not even going to get to their turn. I'm going to play this flanker. I'm going to exile your graveyard. I ain't messing around with that. I have quite the removal. We're in. I will just gladly trade that, I think. I'm not going to fight to keep it alive, I don't think. Dunk them down and then hold up my get lost, I guess. Well, we can. 2 cards are in the graveyard now, though, and they have a full grip. So it's very possible that somehow an Oculus and stuff comes back, but. Sure. There's the helping hand that we were hoping to dodge, but they did draw 3 additional cards. There's another white source. Profs is pretty good, which probably means they have another copy of it. So we will be losing the Light Shatter if they play Profs at some point. Maybe they have an answer for Temp Lockdown at some point. Huh. Here? They have another temporary lockdown, so even if they have Spell Pierce, like, I'll just get the lockdown again. Yeah, and there's the Spell Pierce. Honestly, it feels nice to get rewarded, like, for knowing what they do play. But remember, Temp Lockdown does take out the Shelter by Ghost. Also, if I find another spell, I just get rid of this anyway. Actually, other than my token, I rip a Helix, it's over anyway, right? Or is this 4 going? Should go in your lifelinker or not. Okay. 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, temporary lockdown. And second lockdown, I guess. Down to 2. I will barrel for the spell and Helix. Nope. But they concede, so we get there. All right, I coughed and ruined my first take, so other than what we've already known about the deck, the Parting Gust was fine, but I think the Flanker was really awesome, and I honestly think it might be the better option. As against even aggro, it's good. Soul Guide Lantern was what I was playing, and I do like it, the fact that it's a 1-mana spell that, like, for example, if Omniscience plays Surveil Land, puts an Omniscience, you could play exile 1 copy, and then when they put another one in there, you can crack it and exile them again. But Flanker does the same, but allows us to put pressure. It is a little bit more expensive, and obviously oftentimes requires tap out, which is a little bit frustrating at times, but against Oculus, it worked out well, but a Soul Guide Lantern would have done equally as good most of the time, so it's a little weird. It depends which one you want to play, Flanker or that, and the Scry 2 gain 2 life is oftentimes good, and that's the upside of this in comparison to just drawing a card straight up. But on 2 Abrades is nice, 2 Get Lost is good, 4 Helix is a must. I personally think playing 4 of these is really, really good. But yeah, I had a full crash out in one of the games straight up because I've had this card in my opening hand what felt like a lot of the games, and then I couldn't have a temporary lockdown, and then I would just play against Is It Prowess and be like, yeah, where's my temporary lockdowns that I put in the deck? And then I just wouldn't find them, and I would lose the game. But it is what it is, and that's all I really got to say. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed it anyway, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.